an economy, and I'm trying to make the best out of it. Economy is the economy of images. And it was so obvious to think that if we have the images of the economy, eventually we're going to have the economy of the images. And this concept brings forward a reality about the contemporary visual culture, that images have become so ubiquitous in the physical and digital spaces that they are traded, consumed, and discarded like items in a supermarket. But images were once tools for representation and communication, and now they became commodities in their own sense, bought, sold, circulated in vast quantities on the internet, and what's very sad, off the internet. And the idea is that images are never passively consumed. They shape perceptions, behaviors, and cultures, and create this immersive image space in which we already reached 100% occupied by visual content, with more and more countries all over the world questioning and banning billboards in city centers and beyond. I like to be a verb more than anything. So I am doing, but you can call me Livia. And I'm here to do my part in stopping banners and visual pollution, one mural at a time. Because a mural is a protector of the wall. And murals can never be compared to a banner. And maybe you ask, why is that? Because when you look at a 300 square meters painting, you see time. You see the time artists invested in the piece. And that time demands your time. And then you get captured by the mural. And it changes something in you. Don't unveil this if you value your freedom, because my eyes are a dungeon of love. This is what Leonardo da Vinci said quite some time ago. And he was the first to talk about the power inherent in images. And what I'm trying to do with my NGO, Bucharest, is to bring again together the human and the city, because they were split, and to bring forward this concept of the right to the city. The public space, it's called public space because it should be public. But even before the pandemic, but especially after, when people were denied to go in the public space, this rupture happened even deeper. And on top of this, we call it public space, but unfortunately, it is mostly privately owned. Cars have more space than pedestrians. Buildings have cover more the sky than the clouds. And ultimately, this is a mechanism of domination of the private into the public. And what I want to do, and what I'm doing, is I'm bringing again the power down to the citizens. We see places all the time, but everything is interconnected. And I will tell you this story about how being the point of contact of a Czech film director when I was in high school, to going with Erasmus in Prague when I was studying electrical engineering, and finding for the first time in my life, at that point, a free wall, a street art free wall, John Lennon wall, that's me in 2017. And that moment changed the course of my life. Because I saw this was a street art corner where everyone can come and write or paint something about the struggles of the present. So it remained, it stuck with me. And 2 years of engineering passed, and only then this domino happened. And exactly after graduation, while I was part of a leadership accelerator, I pitched Bucharest for the first time as a solution for urban regeneration. And I did the murals. And I gave justice to Leonardo da Vinci, who said that images are so powerful. In my first project, in just 6 months, the whole space flourished and regenerated completely. And I decided I want to be part of this kind of change. But then I was interested in creating even more change. What if we take this power and we offer it a substrate? Besides the fact that it is visually pleasing and beautifying the area, it can also have a deeper purpose. And this is how the first manifesto happened, Forests Stay Home. You can find these artworks in Cotroceni, and they are artworks that talk about the illegal cutting of the trees and the awareness on the importance of forests in general. And we see these here, the cities. These are some artworks that are very loved. And of course they are very loved because we are Homo urbanus. We are urban creatures. The city is our greatest creation. It is our wishes implemented, creating new worlds. And what is very interesting now, unprecedented, is that 56% of the population of the planet lies in cities. And this is a very big number compared with 3%, which was 2 centuries ago. And what the predictions say is that by 2050, 75% of the cities, of the people will reside in cities, will be urbanites. So it is imperative, because that is happening in like 25 years, to nurture the public space and to take care of our urban areas and create ways of coexisting. Since the first project, the pilot project, I've witnessed how art can change communities, behaviors, and feelings about a place, how it can humanize the city and disrupt the urban rules. And what I've arrived to study is that mural art in cities is incredibly impactful. It raises the well-being of the citizens by 80%. It decreases vandalism by 90%. It even helps the citizens make more physical activity, and it also helps the city and the area economically. And these are just some top-of-the-mind benefits of the street art. But besides the fact that we work in the cities, we also work to raise street art as a phenomenon, because it is a very special type of art, and street artists need to be featured in museums because their message and their aesthetic and style is part of history of art. And this is something that's happening in the world. Street art is penetrating galleries and museums, while the institutionalized art is coming in the street, because the audience is wider and more diverse, and your message can reach more people. But in Romania, I was the first to curate a dedicated exposition for street artists in a museal context. And it was called The Scene to be Seen. And it took the visitor through several directions: the scene, the fight, the acceptance, and being seen. I don't want to go through all of them with you, but 2 important ones. The scene refers to the sinful act of writing on walls, sgraffito or graffiti now. This visceral instinct that we have, ancient instinct, to express, to exist, to tell everyone about our existence. And this scene started before Pompeii, and it is now condemned. And you should not condemn an instinct. And then I want to talk about the moment in which we arrived now, the moment of acceptance of street art, as it actually creates street art as a boundary figure created by Agamben, Homo sacer, the figure that exists at the same time in the realm of art, but also it is not considered art all the time. So this is what this exhibition wanted to show. After this, I went further and I curated mural artwork at the Mare Museum of Recent Art for their cultural highlight of the decade exhibition, The Picasso Effect. And the mural artwork features the Romanian muralists on which you can see the effect of Picasso. And with these events, with these kinds of happenings of street art, also at the level of institutions, this is how more and more people are starting to see it as we see it. But enough with the institutionalized art, let's go to what I exactly do. Book Artists Association was the development of the first project that I did in 2019. And what's very interesting is that at only 3 years after the pilot project, the biggest urban art festival in Romania appeared, Arton Festival. And it is crazy, especially because during this I was transitioning from engineering to art. I was involving, talking, collaborating with the cultural institutions, and everything just aligned. So I believe that the concept of synchronicity manifested in my life through the people I've met, the projects I've embarked on, and the opportunities that led me to new insights, and ultimately to stand before you today. Arton Festival is a festival that helps you own your town through art. And at its core stays the concept of artivism, art and activism, a blend of these two that create visual and emotional forks in the road for the ones that come and interact with them, for the community and for the individuals. We work on several directions at our festival, and what you see here we call street art interventions, smaller artworks that we scatter around the city. These artists are some artists from Berlin, and they are profoundly artivist. We talk about things that we should take care, like emotional pollution, because that is a kind of pollution as well, and about important things for the society at large, collaboration, cooperation, helping each other, and this concept of love. And we bring it in the public space in order for the people to see it and have it close as a reminder every day. And this love we take further on another direction that we have, the one of sculptures. And this is a sculpture with the very well-known character, Mr. Goe, who now, having 4 meters tall, from a child to a giant, is sending the same message of love. And by this, we reinvented the whole narrative of the story. Murals touch your soul before they touch your eyes. And through artivism, we want to amplify messages to work within the society. Here we have an artwork that talks about the magic of planet Earth, And this magicness can be seen through the optical illusion that you are faced in front of the mural. Through our ARTIVISM murals, we try to create alternative paths and choices for the viewer, but not only on a singular level, but also on a level of community. The city of Ploiești, my hometown where the festival is happening, is the city where the first oil refinery in the world has been founded and functioning. And what we wanted to do, for example, with this artwork, is to look at the past through the lens of the future. Go further, and any museums, libraries, galleries were at the basis of the building of societies since the ancient times. But in order to have culture, you have to bring the historical memory back. And this is what we are trying to do. And work with the international artists in order to bring the diversity of aesthetics and as well as cultural diversity. And also tell the sufferings of the world through murals. These are murals done with the technique arpileras, which is a technique of weaving in times of war. And we did this also with the community. We did a community weaving installation in order to connect and root the people with the public space, allow them, give them space to create a relationship with the public space. And then use these new landmarks that they create for themselves as dominoes for their own lives, in which they become the activators of change. And another artivistic way is to take the humans out of the urban boredom. And this is what this artist is doing, showing the community how astronauts just found water on Mars. We went further into the remodelation of how the city is perceived by the people, and we completely changed the park from this to this. And we created a lot of opportunities for the people to come and engage between themselves, because we believe that art is the biggest catalyst of society, and that you have, in order for you to grow as a person, you have to open yourself to art. Nobody is expecting you to understand contemporary art. Just don't think of that. Go to museums and galleries. And what we do expect from you is to just go and see them. And life as contemporary art is not here to be figured out, but to be lived.